Hi, Olathe West. This is Mrs. Myers. For today's ACT lesson, we are going to go over the 3 most missed questions from the pre-ACT that you took in October. If you remember back in October, you took a pre-ACT, you did very well on science. We beat all the other Olathe high schools, so good job. But it's always good to go back over the ones that we missed the most and fix our mistakes. These were the 3 top most missed questions, 24, 29, and 30. Of course, it was getting to the end of the test and you were getting tired, and those are the percent correct for each question. Here is the first one that we're going to talk about, question 24. Our question is in the orange box. Student 2 implies that which of the following morphological traits evolved at points W and X, W and X. Yes, so those are my 2 keywords here, points W and X. The thing I always do first is I check and see, can I find my answer in a picture? So I don't have to read these sections unless I really have to. So I see point W here, I see point X here, and they're asking, what does the student say about what when these evolved or what these were that they evolved? I don't see anything in the diagram that would tell me the answer, so I know it's going to have to be in these paragraphs. I'm not going to read the paragraphs completely to understand them. I'm just going to skim to see where I see W and X. I see points W and X here at the very, very end, so I'm going to read this sentence. Humans and bats are both mammals, but the mammalian characteristics of humans and of bats evolved at points W and X respectively. So this tells me the mammalian characteristics evolved at W and X. What's mammalian here? That would be answer J, mammary glands. See, they both have mamma at the beginning. All right, so that was the first question we missed. Let's look at the next one. Question 29. In experiments 1 through 3, the component of the air bubbling through the biodiesel sample that was primarily responsible for the breakdown of the sample was. So they are asking, what was the air bubbling? Was it water in the form of air gas? Was it hydrogen gas, nitrogen gas, or oxygen gas? Again, I always look at the picture first. If the picture can help me, then I don't have to read the text. Here I notice in the picture they have airflow going in to this tube and then airflow going into this tube. Nothing in the picture tells me which gas it is, okay? So now I'm going to scan the paragraph to see if I recognize any words that match any of my answer choices. Anything about water, hydrogen, nitrogen, or oxygen. I do see that they're saying that they're doing an oxidation here. Oxidation tells me oxygen is likely involved, oxygen bubbles. I also use my common sense. I know that bubbles are probably going to be oxygen. Yes, you can have water in a gas form. You could have water bubbles maybe, but more likely oxygen is going to happen. I don't see anything about nitrogen in the paragraph. And I do know with prior knowledge that hydrogen gas is very explosive and dangerous. Nothing about this is talking about explosive or dangerous. So again, because I say oxidation here, my answer is D, oxygen. Okay. And my last question, question 31. This one was a tough one. Suppose BD5 is made by mixing 250 milliliters of BD1 with 750 milliliters of BD4. So they're making BD5 by mixing BD1 and BD4. BD stands for biodiesel. Okay. The sample of BD5 containing this much of TBCA was tested in experiment 2. So experiment 2 tells me I'm looking at experiment 2, and I'll look at the picture first to find if it's in the picture, figure 2. What was the induction period? Induction period, I see induction period here on the y-axis. So I know my answer is going to be one of these numbers between 0 and 120. Okay, which section of the graph to look at? They tell me TBCA. So I know I'm going to be focused on this section here, the TBCA section. Okay. And they're asking, what was the induction period of BD5? Now I notice BD5 is not in the diagram. There would be BD5. It is not here. So I'm going to have to estimate it's somewhere going to be between BD1 and BD4. BD1 is this white and BD4 is this other white. So somewhere between this 85-ish value, and this 20-ish value. Okay, now, if it were an exact mix, a 50-50 mix of 1 and 4, then the induction period would be right in the middle, right here, right around 40. But because they tell us it's 250 of 1 and 750 of 4, I know it's going to be a little bit closer to 4, a little bit closer to this white bar down here. So the induction period for 5 should be somewhere in between 40, which is the halfway point, and 20, which is for BD4. So somewhere between 20 and 40. My answer is G, somewhere between 20 and 40. Sometimes on the ACT Science, you'll have to estimate. They won't give you the values in the chart, and you'll have to say, okay, I think it's somewhere between these two values. Here, I knew it wasn't exactly halfway between 1 and 4 because it's not a 50-50 mix. It's going to be a little bit closer to BD4, so a little bit further towards the white bar at the end because it has more of the BD4 in it. All right, thank you for watching. Those were tough questions. You guys did great on the ACT Science this time. Have a great day.